if you're always the person who comes through for your family, for your friends, for your coworkers, you need to listen today, right? If you're always the person, you're the one who, you're holding up the world. You got your cape on. You're saving everyone. Today, we'll discuss 4 reasons you should stop saving folks, right? You should stop. You should stop doing that. My name is Angela Odom, and I am the host of the Better You Leadership Podcast and the founder of the Better You Project. I am pumped up yet again. This is episode 50. Can you believe that? 50. So I want to share with you just 4 reasons why you should stop trying to save everybody. What is that about? What is that about really? You have people in your life right now that might look at you and say, hey, this is my purpose in life is to fix this person. They're not perfect. So I'm going to fix him. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So that's what we'll talk about today. So go ahead and make sure you have something you want to take notes with. Terry, I see you. I see you. I also see you, Deidre. I want to just really, um, and Stacy, I see you also. I want you to just think about it. I have a 16-year-old, a 16-year-old son, right? And so when he was little, small little fellow, right? I would do things for him, right? Prepare things for him, teach, coach, mentor. Now he's 16 and he's like, hey, I got it. I got it. So as far as me saving him, what I've decided to do is allow that fellow to bump his head so that he's able to, uh, you know, problem solve. So the first thing is the reason we should stop saving everybody is because we're hindering their growth and their progress, right? So we might think, oh, this is what we're doing. This is our habit when it comes to our people in our circle, our friends, our families, our coworkers, because we're the go-to, right? We're the go-to. So you want to be able to step back and just notice if the person becomes so dependent on you, your guidance, your help, could be financial, right? So what I told my 16-year-old is, hey man, try it. I'm always going to be here with you and for you. However, my goal for you is to be able to be financially dependent on yourself. Independence, right? Not on mom by the time you're 25. So, what are the things we have to do to get you there? Really have to stop saving him, right? And that's painful to watch. It might be painful for you to watch someone that you love, you adore. Good morning, Mo. I see you. So, you want to help, but I'm going to tell you just besides hindering their growth and their development, because you're always stepping in, right? Because you're always stepping in. So step back. The second reason that you want to stop saving people is you're most likely spending your time trying to fix, you're trying to fix something. You're trying to control someone else because you don't want to deal with your own mess. Woo! I know, right? Now that right there is the truth. You're spending so much time trying to shape a narrative, trying to present yourself in a way that helps you, but really you're not helping the other people. You're not helping the situation, right? So you most likely spending your time trying to fix somebody else because you are avoiding your own foolishness, your own mess, your own whatever you're procrastinating about, whatever you're embarrassed about. So just think about that. If that is in any way true, then let me know, right? I may be off. Maybe this is me. But I'm telling you, the third thing is the reason you want to stop saving everyone is that everybody's on their own journey. We take in things differently. We understand, we process things in different ways. So maybe it's not the way you perceive it. Maybe it's not the way you would do it. If you're, um, you have employees, you have team members, you have family members, you have your social circle, and you are in charge of a task, I'm going to tell you to go ahead and delegate. If it can be delegated, I'm going to tell you to delegate. If it's in your home, delegate it. If it's in your friend circle, delegate it. If it's in your workspace, delegate it. Everybody's on their own journey. Trust them to do it. You're teaching, you're coaching, your mentor, you're a great role model. So trust them. Trust them to do it. And then guess what? If they don't get it exactly right, except if it's going to, cause hurt, harm, and danger, if it's going to cause you a whole bunch of money, right? Okay, step in, save them. And then bam, bam, bam. Don't hit them like for real, but just make sure that you pull them back from the fire, from the edge. But if it's not going to cause hurt, harm, or endanger someone, it's not going to cost you some, astronomical amount of money, right? It's not going to change your big life in any big way, then allow them to try. Because everyone is on their own journey. And the way you see things might not necessarily be the only way it can be seen. And then number 4 is I don't know about you, but I think all of us probably gotten into a fight or a disagreement with someone because we think we know better than them, the way it's supposed to be. And they like refuse. They're like, I don't even want your help. Stop, get off me. What's wrong with you? But we push and we push and we push. We push our opinions on them. We push our beliefs on them. I say we because I'm all over this one, right? And so the more they move away, the more we try to push. After all, we're right. Right? We're right. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Now, we probably just letting that, a lot of emotions get the best of us. And, we have good intentions. We have good intentions. We want to share our advice with everybody, spitting out all that garbage, right? Nobody don't want to hear it. So it's turned into a fight, or they're actually avoiding you. They're like, oh my God, you're overwhelming, right? So remember that there is a difference between motivating, inspiring, and saving people. There's a difference in when you motivate someone, right? Really, in the way I believe, you motivate yourself. People motivate their own selves. And then you inspire, and then you save. Those are 3 different things. So no one can really save another person. You can't save yourself. So really, it is the need that I'm speaking to. The need for you to feel as if you have to fix someone. You need to start by fixing yourself. That's the message, because we're seeking progress and not perfection, right? So this is what I'm going to ask you to try instead. Instead of trying to save someone and fix someone, I'm going to ask you first to just shut your big old mouth. Yeah, you shut your big old mouth. Stop injecting your opinion. It's not the only way, and it's simply a way, right? And so when someone asks you for your advice, or what do you think about this, or hey, this is what I'm dealing with, I just want to run this by you, or yeah, I have this task, I'm doing it, I'm working through, just want to give you, I'm just checking in with you, boss lady, I'm checking in with you, I'm giving you a progress. And then at that point is when you would reshape, right? You would put them back in the middle of the lane, as opposed to they might be running off the road. Understand? So shut your big old mouth. That's the first thing I want you to try. And then the second thing is I'm going to ask you to listen more than you talk. You may be surprised. You may like have your surprise face on like this. You may be surprised of how many insights you gain, how many tools and techniques you learn about when you listen to someone else describe a problematic situations. Sometimes they only want you to listen and not necessarily solve the problem. This would be, if you are the host of a meeting, a session, and you are the manager, someone who actually dictates the other people's day, right? You sign the documents that make sure they get paid. You're the person in a position of authority, right? Sometimes when I say listen more than you talk, if you give your opinion first, if you've saved the day, if you want to show how smart you are, right? First, then the other people will not most likely share their opinion, because the boss has already spoken. That must be what she wants. right? Unless you have some people with some backbone. So just think about that. Listen more than you talk. And then number three, I want you to show up for yourself first, meaning mind your business. And then I want you to serve others from the overflow. Basically, mind your business, right? So, what I want you to just think about is boundaries, your own communication skills, conflict resolution. How do you work through these things? And then self awareness and then mindset. Mostly self awareness is what I want you to get out of today's topic, right? I want you to get out of the fact that um, everybody doesn't need to be fixed. Everybody is on their own journey, right? And so I gave you the reasons, gave you my four reasons, and I gave you some things I asked you to try instead of what you're doing. However, if it is working right this minute, I want you to be self aware and think about if it's only working for you. Is that okay? Is it working for the organization? Then that's good, right? If it's working for you and the person you're actually trying to save and help and mentor and teach, oh my God, and that's like a win-win-win. But if it's not, right? And how will you know that it's not working? How will you know that your attempt, your ability, your efforts, your resources that you're giving to someone, you're like just throwing it on them, right? You are going to be saved. You are going to be helped, right? Tell me, how do you know that it is not working, that it's not effective, that it's not wanted, that you are hindering that person's growth and development? How do you know? It's not a trick question. I want you to become more aware. That's why I say listen more than you talk. That's why I say shut your big old mouth and you pay attention, right? And so you look inside of your organizations. What are the people looking for? Results. They're looking for results. They're looking for things to happen, to progress, right? So is that happening? Oh, by the way, we as leaders, and we all are, we are not building mini me's. We're not building, we're going to do things the exact way we want them to do it, right? We're not saying that people should show up the way we would show up. Of course, you have standards. Don't get me all mixed up, right? We have standards, right? We have consequences that people would know in advance. What happens when they don't complete a task, right? We have those things in place. We have policies and procedures, all those things. However, what we are building, I'm not building another Angie Odom. Lord have mercy, there's only one. Whoop! I'm telling you, what you're building, what you're doing is you're actually helping other people to grow and develop. You want them to be more successful than you. You want that. You want them to be able to communicate effectively, to complete the task, to one day, be the person in charge of that directorate. You want that. You want to celebrate others, even if they didn't do it the way you thought it should be done. The results, right? Results. That's what we want. We want the task completed. We want everyone to win. That's the mindset. That's the mindset. Everyone can win. And so, if you don't take anything else from today's um, topic, I want you to shut your big old mouth. I want you to listen more than you talk. I want you to listen and figure out if someone is actually asking for your help. Did they ask for your opinion? Right? Did someone invite you to speak to their organization? Did someone invite you to help them? And the other side of that, you can say no, right? So let's just go back to the example of my 16-year-old son. Then I'm going to close this out. So my son, I was driving him to school for years and years, driving him to school. And one day that fella said to me, this was, elementary and middle school, right? He was grumpy in the morning, right? And I was saying, let's go, let's go. You got to get up. He was like, well, basically said something to the effect that made me believe that he thought I was responsible for waking him up. That I was responsible for him getting like really to school, being prepared. Are you kidding me? So that was me. I shut my big old mouth and I started listening. And I was like, oh my God, I am hindering his growth because he thinks that I'm the one that's still in school. And I'd said some real curse words, right? But so what I realized over the last few years is if he's late for school, it's not the end of the world. Right? I have to stop saving him. So now he rides the bus to school because I was like, pooh, I got to take that. I got to get that out of the way. Stop saving this fellow because what happens? What does it look like in next year, 10 years, 20 years? Am I going to come and, wake him up for college, get to class? No, I'm not. Am I going to go and link up with his girlfriend, fiance, or wife and say, oh, you got to wake him up? No, I'm not. Am I going to come and make sure, shake him and make sure he's good to go for work? No, I'm not. So I have to stop saving him now so that he gains that skill. And guess what? Guess what? I think it was today is what, Tuesday. So yesterday morning, bus comes at about anywhere between 7:29 and 7:35. The bus comes at about 7:28ish. I heard that fellow in the room. I was like, why is he still there? But I shut my big old mouth and didn't say a word, right? Because I'd already told him if he missed the bus, he got to figure out how to get to school. Right. So anyway, so he bounced down the door, but it took everything I could to shut up, to not intervene, to not say, oh, what's going on? You okay? Blah, blah, none of that. And oh, by the way, he made it just, I guess, just in time. None of my business. That's none of my business, right? So he made it to school. That's just a small example, but think about what that looks like in your social circles. I was out to lunch. I know it's still in the middle of the pandemic, but I was out to lunch with a few friends, right? And we're all vaccinated. Don't judge me. So I was out to lunch, and one of the people I was with was digging around. It was time to pay the bill, digging around the purse, digging around the purse. Guess what I did? I shut my big old mouth because if she didn't have the, physical money, everybody got a debit or credit card. Put it on your credit card. None of my business, right? None of my business. I'm trying to save people. Another example. In the workspace, I have, because I, retired after serving in the Army for 27 years, right? And I had the opportunity to manage loss of people. And I had this one person, this one example, um, amazing, amazing person, great communicator, always work was always impeccable, trustworthy, credible, all of these things, right? And so I said to her, you're going to brief the boss, make the presentation to the boss. And she was like, oh, no, 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 I can't do that because basically she wasn't comfortable. That was confidence. And so as far as saving her, I stopped. I told her, I said, you know what? I'm not even going with you today. I have something else I need to do. So you're prepared. You can do this. Oh, by the way, and don't make me look crazy in front of my boss, right? I don't want to hear any foolishness from him the next time I talk to him. You've got this. Handle your business. And of course, it came out when I got feedback from my boss of how she went in and presented everything, laid it all out, blah, blah, blah. He went with her recommendations, all those things. So stop saving people. Just give them a little gentle nudge. Might not be the same way you would have done it, but guess what? Results. That's what we're looking at, right? So I'm giving you those examples because I'm rooting for you. That's what it is. I'm rooting for you. Oh, Dorothy, I see you. So I'm telling you to stop saving folks. And I'm not telling you to push anybody into oncoming traffic. I'm not telling you to set anybody up for success. What I'm telling you is mind your own business. Continue to coach, teach, mentor, serve as a great role model, be positive, celebrate people when they win, all those things. And then, you do the right thing. All right. I see you, Mo. You said great examples. Janita, I see you to claps. Oh, yada, got you. Great house in the house. I love that. So this is, and you say, okay, listen to hear, not to sob. Understand. All right. Well, with that said, we'll close this out just by sharing sharing one last thing with you. This podcast, this is the 50th episode. And so I'm very grateful, very grateful. I just ask you, please, to go to Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Amazon Music or wherever you listen to podcasts, right? And I'd ask you to subscribe and also to leave a solid review. Now, if you got something crazy to say, you better stop. Right? So I'm gonna ask you to just go ahead and, if you would, subscribe and to leave a solid review. All right. With that said, you all have an amazing day. And like I said, my name is Angela Odom, and I am rooting for you. Take care.